I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. The Southwest TV Translator Association underwrites the news, and Dolores County Broadcasting Network provides the support for DCTV.
The News at Noon program assembles the best and most interesting news from the area and provides local weather for the Four Corners region. Give us a call with news tips or topics you'd like to see covered. The number is 677-4119.
Monday's news is live here at noon, rebroadcast at 2:30 and 8, and rerun on Thursday at noon, 2:30 and 8. Today's October 31st, Halloween 2016. Now, here's the news. The FLDS raises concerns for Mancos residents, according to a report in the Cortez Journal. The community of Mancos, home to a secluded fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints compound, is on alert as authorities search for the polygamous sex interim leader who escaped house arrest in June. I don't want to minimize the level of danger, said FBI Special Agent Eric Barnhart. He is armed and dangerous, but he's also trying to escape further incarceration. Don't approach him, call it in, and let us check it out. Lyle Jeffs, 56, was arrested in February with 10 other fundamental polygamists in connection to a more than $12 million tax fraud scheme wherein high-ranking members allegedly cashed in on government subsidies such as food stamps at the expense of FLDS families who nearly starved. On June 9th, despite adamant protests from prosecutors warning of a high flight risk, U.S. District Court Judge Ted Stewart released Jeffs on house arrest in Salt Lake County, Utah, ruling it would be unconstitutional to hold him until the October trial. Just days later, Jeffs disappeared. Authorities found his ankle monitor covered in olive oil. As the search enters its 5th month, Barnhart said it's likely Jeffs has entered one of his group's countless houses of hiding, a term the FLDS uses for a network of secretive holdings scattered throughout the country. One such refuge is a 180-acre property 10 miles north of Mancos, surrounded by densely wooded national forest land above Joe Moore Reservoir off Forest Service Road 559. We know a lot of their properties are remote, Barnhart said, but the world has gotten smaller. It's only a matter of time until they make a mistake. Scott Davis, Montezuma County property assessor, said his visits to the site are tense. He is escorted to only select areas and has never been allowed inside a building. Most unsettling, Davis said, was that among the obvious signs of life, construction equipment, new vehicles, there were never any people around. Buildings were boarded up and window blinds drawn. When people don't want you inside, they are generally hiding something, Davis said. It eventually became clear that the Mancos property was not destined to become the stronghold for the FLDS. Instead, the Texas location, which was raided in 2008 after allegations of child rape were made, held that special designation. But there's still been this question all along. How does this property play in the asset game of the FLDS, said Vaughn. There's no production here, no economic activity. We know now Warren was there when he was on the FBI's most wanted list, so to me it seemed a logical place that was intended as a hideaway. After Warren Jeffs' 2006 arrest and subsequent life sentence for raping 2 girls, impregnating a 15-year-old, the controversial sect has mostly receded from the national spotlight. And the Mancos property, which once boasted a heavily guarded watchtower that would alert a 24/7 ATV patrol, too has quieted. News reports that reference the holding trickle off sometime around 2008. But in 2014, the FLDS purchased another 60-acre parcel, effectively linking the total 180 acres. It has built up and torn down a number of structures with seemingly no rhyme nor reason and maintains a massive greenhouse, raised garden, and solar panels, said Vahan, who lives in Silver City, New Mexico, but photographs the compound every time he visits Mancos. Davis, who also monitors the FLDS with some regularity, said there are a number of residential structures, cabins, and storage sheds on the property. He said there are also hints of an underground bunker. There's a lot of cement produced on site, but no evidence of it being used on the surface or leaving, Davis said. We all believe they've built an underground bunker. I would put money on it, and I'm not much of a betting man. Attempts to reach former members of the FLDS who might provide insight on the purpose of the Mancos property were unsuccessful.
According to the Cortez Journal, a 2-car crash at Sligo and East Main Streets on Thursday evening injured 2 people and sent 1 to the hospital. The accident shut down 3 of 4 lanes of Main Street for about an hour. Marvin Gersh of Durango, 79, was driving a Ford Edge and failed to yield while making a left onto Sligo Street from Main Street, according to Cortez police. He caused a collision with a Oldsmobile Cutlass driven by Holly Rotzert, 42, and was cited for careless driving causing bodily injury. Rotzert was transported to Southwest Memorial and was transferred to another hospital, according to a Southwest Memorial person.
Reported by the Durango Herald, in the Republican-leaning 3rd Congressional District, where the number of Democrats voting early is trailing Republicans by less than previous years, incumbent Republican Scott Tipton and Democratic challenger Gail Schwartz are in a fight to the finish. The district is performing better for Republicans than the snapshot of early voting statewide, where Republicans are trailing Democrats by 4 points. It is the 3rd Congressional District race that has captured the most attention in western Colorado, as large injections of cash fuel a battle in the final days. Schwartz has been pressured to say whether she supports a universal health care state ballot question, something she has declined to weigh in on. And news Friday that the FBI renewed its investigation into Democrat Hillary Clinton's use of a private server for classified emails while she was Secretary of State will offer fodder to Republicans attacking Democrats in down-ticket races. Through last Thursday, when the latest numbers were available, Republicans in the 3rd Congressional District delivered over 39,000 ballots early. That's 40%. Democrats with over 36,000, which is 36%, and unaffiliated voters over 24,000, which is 24%. For a rural district where Republicans comprise 35%, Democrats 30%, and unaffiliated voters 33%, the relatively close gap between Republicans and Democrats is a positive sign for Democrats and their allies. What's difficult to predict is how the first year of all-mail voting will affect races. Statewide, the overall ballots returned by parties showed Democrats contributing 39%, Republicans 35%, and unaffiliated 25% so far. But state GOP Chairman Steve House is not concerned. High-propensity Republicans, people who vote all the time, a lot of them haven't voted yet, House said. They're probably looking at ballot initiatives and figuring it out. Analysts say many Republicans are holding on to their ballots, unlike previous years, as they are unmotivated by either Trump or Clinton. The theory is that these voters will drop off their ballots in the final days, continuing the tradition of voting for Republicans in down-ticket contests.
According to the Durango Herald, protesters trying to block the Dakota Access Oil Pipeline urged unity on Saturday while gathering near the burned-out construction vehicles that served as a barricade between activists and officers a day earlier. After 2 days of confrontations with law enforcement, about 100 people prayed at the barricade in chilly, cloudy weather in southern North Dakota. The protesters later walked back to a camp where hundreds are staying to support the Standing Rock Sioux's effort to halt construction of the $3.8 billion pipeline. Dozens of people moved behind the burned vehicles and heavy plywood along a highway on Friday, facing concrete barriers, military vehicles, and police in riot gear. Don Cooney, the encampment's security leader, said Saturday that the standoff does not represent the ongoing protest. Cooney noted that disagreements have surfaced about how to demonstrate, but he said any instigators would be kicked out of the encampment. Stressing unity, he said, more numbers make you more powerful. The Standing Rock Sioux argues that the nearly 1,200-mile pipeline threatens water sources and cultural sites, but the Texas company behind the project, Energy Transfer Partners, insists it is safe. The pipeline is slated to carry North Dakota crude oil through South Dakota and Iowa to a shipping point in Patoka, Illinois. Only a handful of people, including some observers from Amnesty International, stayed into the evening Friday after protest leaders asked people to return to camp after the vehicle fires. The protest camp is near Cannonball, a town about 50 miles south of Bismarck.
The Unlimited Learning Center in Cortez has revamped its adult education program to focus on the industrial trades in addition to its career training in the medical fields, according to the Cortez Journal. To boost enrollment and awareness of the many free classes and tuition college courses, the Learning Center is hosting an open house on Friday, November 4th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The open house will feature presentations by oil and gas companies, large plant operators, and medical professionals. Information will be available on education and certificate programs in well-paying fields. Lunch will be provided. Director Ann Miller said, "We offer specific pathways to careers that pay well so people have a better chance of getting a sustainable job in the area. We're open to anyone in the community, people who have been laid off, want to find a new job, or go back to school." Industrial trades include large plant maintenance and operations, industrial mechanics, hydraulics, and instrumentation. Possible jobs include working in the oil and gas industry or for organizations with large mechanical plants, such as school districts, factories, hospitals, utility companies, casinos, or production mills. Companies want to hire locally, but have said that the labor pool does not have the skills they need. We are changing that, Miller said. The new industrial trades program provides free math and science courses, and the testing needed to get accepted into the School of Energy in Farmington, where advanced job training and trade certificates are offered. Students at the center have access to interactive college courses broadcast from the College of Eastern Utah and San Juan College. The center offers medical career training as well and is the only school in Southwest Colorado that offers the 34 college credits needed for certification as a medical assistant. Medical assistants are in high demand right now because they can do both patient care and administrative work, Miller said. Our students are getting snapped up by hospitals with starting pay at $20 per hour. Miller said the center recognizes there is an education gap for many adults, which prevents them from succeeding in the difficult coursework and testing required to become certified in medical and industrial trades. Basic math, English, and science courses for GED and college entrance exams are free. Pell Grants are available for college courses. The Learning Center also offers free child care. For more information, call the school at 970-565-1601 or visit their website at fourcornerslearning.org.
According to the Durango Herald, Mancos trustees are commissioning a study of housing needs in the Mancos Valley. Pryor and Associates of Denver will conduct the study at a price not to exceed $10,000. The firm will look at the availability of market rate and affordable housing as well as the demand for housing in the area. The results of the study will show the area's existing and planned housing units and will recommend what types of housing and rent prices are best suited for the area. Trustees voted on Wednesday to commission the study, with most of the work done in 2016 so that it is not included in the town's 2017 budget. The town may also pursue a reimbursement for the study from the State Department of Local Affairs. Also Wednesday, the board discussed plans for town holiday events. In the past, the town has sponsored a free community dinner in December, as well as a tree lighting ceremony and fun run. Trustees discussed combining the two events instead of sponsoring a full holiday meal. Former Parks manager Leslie Hopkins had been in charge of the events, but she left the position earlier this year. Board members decided asking the staff to plan for an entire meal on top of their existing workload was not feasible. Trustees also approved a retail marijuana license renewal for Green Kiwi, doing business as The Beacon, located at 449 Railroad Avenue in Mancos. There have been no violations over the past year from The Beacon, and the Mancos Marshal's Office had no objections to the license renewal, according to Town Administrator Andrea Phillips. And now here's our weather report.
A cold front will bring isolated to scattered rain showers across northeast Utah and northwest Colorado this morning and early afternoon. This front will weaken and dissipate this evening with partial clearing skies from the west and mild temperatures for a pleasant evening. The Four Corners region should be spared from sprinkles. Temperatures will cool off quickly after sunset. Another disturbance will move across the area Tuesday with isolated to scattered light showers possible. Nationally, not a lot going on weather-wise. Some rain and snow falling in the Northwest and along the Canadian border. But for the most part, the country is in a drying period, and it should be good for the trick-or-treater crowd for Halloween tonight. And on to the 5-day as we roll over into November on Tuesday. By the way, a rabbit, good luck for the month of starting tomorrow. The 5-day outlook shows temperatures will remain around the 60s for the highs and down into the 30s or lower overnight, which is a change from the warm nights we've been experiencing. With a low chance of rain for us in the Four Corners for Tuesday, the next precipitation potential isn't until the end of the week, and it's too early to really call that one for sure. Our normal average high temp for today is around 60, an average low of 31, so we should be above those levels, but as we move into this week, the averages will be decreasing closer to the norms for this time of year. Sunrise was at 7:41 a.m. and it sets at 6:17 p.m. with the daylight savings changes coming this weekend, so get prepared for that. And now, back to the news.
According to the Durango Herald, Colorado State Patrol and other law enforcement agencies are increasing DUI patrols through Tuesday during Halloween celebration. We'll have more troopers, increased saturation patrols, and DUI checkpoints in place to arrest those who unfortunately chose to drive after drinking, Colonel Scott Hernandez, chief of the Colorado State Patrol, said in a statement. Drivers can be fined, lose their license, face time in jail, and be summoned to community service for a DUI, said Darrell Link, director of the Office of Transportation Safety at the Colorado Department of Transportation. Nationally, 45% of all traffic fatalities on Halloween between 2011 and 15 involved a drunken driving related crash, while 23% of all pedestrian fatalities on Halloween involved a drunken driver, according to a news release. Last year's Halloween enforcement resulted in 269 DUI arrests statewide. For those that were haunting the bars along Main Avenue last weekend, the Buzz Bus runs from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Saturday through Monday. The bus is $10 for a single person to go anywhere in town. For groups going to the same destination, the fare is $5 for each additional person after the first one.
The Durango Herald reported on the Durango Chamber new video promotion. Shop local is the mantra of the Durango Chamber of Commerce, so when it purchased video production services from a New York company this year, it raised concerns with some local businesses. The Chamber contracted with CGI Communications in April to sell ads on its website, including promotional videos, among other services. CGI hired a local video production company, Fast Forward Media, to shoot video footage of both the Chamber and businesses that purchased videos. But CGI didn't put out a call to all local video production companies, even though Chamber of Commerce Executive Director Jack Llewellyn provided CGI staff a list. Editing and associated video production could also have been done by local companies, said Lori Siglito, owner of Fast Forward Media. The Chamber is sending business not just out of town, but out of state, said Matt Crossett, a videographer with Fast Forward Media, who filmed some companies for CGI. He also is the president of the Four Corners Film Office Board. After agreeing to film for CGI, Fast Forward Media staff learned that the videos were for the Chamber and Chamber members. Sigalito said she brought her concerns to the Chamber in July. It could have been a win-win for everybody if the Chamber had structured the contract differently, she said. The Chamber doesn't believe a local company could provide the same services CGI offers, but it will make sure CGI subcontracts with local companies are handled differently. The Chamber will require CGI to send out a request for proposal to Chamber members so they can bid on video production, Llewellyn said. At this point, the Chamber intends to renew the contract with CGI next year. Rich Fletcher, an independent Durango videographer, was concerned CGI had not opened the contract to Chamber members, but he believes an open request for bids will correct the situation. The contract with CGI arose from a contract the Chamber has with WebLink, an Indiana-based company. The Chamber contracts with WebLink for website hosting, online ad sales, its customer service management program, and other back-end functions, Llewellyn said. The Chamber put out a request for proposal for its website design 6 years ago, but could not find a local company that could provide services comparable to WebLink. CGI partnered with WebLink to sell online ads, search engine optimization, social media management, video production, and a GoCast app. GoCast allows members to record a video and upload it to their websites. As part of its agreement with CGI, the Chamber receives at least $25,000 from the sale of ads on its website, Llewellyn said. CGI and WebLink have managed ad sales for the Chamber for years, and this guaranteed revenue has been part of those agreements. The contract means the Chamber does not need a salesperson. Llewellyn said the cost for a promotional video varies based on the ad package a company might buy. CGI has 42 Chamber members using its advertisement package. 8 receive the ads for free because they are nonprofits, Llewellyn said. He did not say how many videos CGI produced. Chamber member Roger Sterling, owner of Southwest Appliance, bought a video and said he was happy with the product. The video of his business will be featured on the Chamber's website, and it can be reused on his own website and Facebook page. CGI offered Sterling additional social media management services, but he purchases these services from BCI Media, a sister company of the Durango Herald. Sigalito would like to see the Chamber adopt a policy to ensure that it explores all the possibilities for purchasing from local vendors before sending business out of the area. Lloyd does not think a policy is necessary because supporting local business is clear in the Chamber's mission. The board did not realize CGI would allow production to be done locally until Sigalito brought the issue to their attention and it was researched. Fletcher would like the Chamber to make sure CGI pays local companies appropriately for their services. Fast Forward Media received between $65 to $135 per video Sigolito said. A fair rate is nearly double that, Fletcher said. Businesses should not accept contracts if they do not believe the rate is fair.
According to the Durango Herald, as the construction of the new Geosciences, Physics, and Engineering Hall at Fort Lewis College enters its final weeks, one new component has been fully installed, a Foucault pendulum. Invented by French scientist Léon Foucault in 1851, the pendulum consists of a polished ball weighing 200 pounds, swinging from a 3-story cable over a compass rose on the floor beneath it. As the Earth rotates, it appears the plane of the pendulum swing is moving, but it's not. It's the Earth beneath it that is moving. The pendulums show different results based on where they are located in the world, Davis said. A pendulum at the North Pole makes one clockwise rotation per day. A pendulum at the South Pole also makes one rotation each day, but it's counterclockwise. The plane of the pendulum suspended at the equator is fixed relative to Earth. The pendulum, which hangs in the northeast corner of the hall, is the gift of Grace Deltscheff on behalf of herself and her late husband, Gustav Deltscheff. It was created by Academy Pendulum Sales in California, which specializes in Foucault pendulums. The hall is scheduled to be completed in November, and while professors will begin moving in equipment, extensive rock and fossil collections, and their offices at that time, the building will not open for classes until the second semester begins in January.
The Cortez Journal reports David Overland has brought the smoking of the future to Cortez by opening Nomad Vape Shop. The shop at 119 East Main Street will offer vaping equipment and a variety of juice flavors, as well as oxygen bar equipment when it opens November 1st. Overland, who also owns a vaping business in Virginia, said vaping is not as harmful as cigarettes because it contains no carcinogens. Overland has known thousands of people to make the switch to vaping from smoking, including himself. It's a big life change when people quit smoking, he said. It's about healing. He hopes to help others through the transition from cigarettes. The shop's space, formerly La Gina's Place, features a combination of rustic nature art and futuristic lighting. Though the vaping industry in its early days featured lower quality products, the hobby has evolved quickly in the past several years, Overland said. Equipment is safe, juices are lab tested for quality, and producers are subject to FDA regulations, he said. Vaping devices can alter the nicotine content to a high or low level or with no nicotine at all. Overland said he has used all the products in his shop and tested them for quality. Nomad is offering a wide variety of vape juice flavors with tobacco, fruit, and dessert flavors. Adventurous vapors can find exotic flavors such as fried ice cream and mapleberry pancake. Overland said he has always been a wanderer, traveling around the country in an RV. The Nomad name for his shop comes from the philosophy that nomads live free, and those who quit smoking also can live more freely.
And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of October 24th through the 30th. A report was made of horses loose on the roadway in the county. A deputy responded and resolved a civil issue between residents. Suspicious activity was reported on a county road. Deputies have increased patrol in that area. An officer investigated a car versus deer accident. Search and rescue was initiated for a hunter who got lost while hunting. The search was successful and the hunter was safely located. A deputy investigated a report of a suspicious vehicle. That's it for today's Roundup. Stay tuned for more updates tomorrow.
For today's High Country happenings, today is the Halloween celebration for many people across the U.S. Here in Dove Creek, the festivities continue, as you can see by somebody's headgear. But we have already had a lot of fun over the weekend. Friday evening was the Rock 4th Annual Halloween Carnival at the Old Gym. Families enjoyed taking the kids to the growing event where for 1 or 2 tickets at 25 cents each, you can participate in a bunch of fun contests. The most popular was the ping pong toss into the fishbowl to win either a stuffed or live goldfish. There's the toilet roll toss, putt-putt, all types of other throwing games and beanbag toss, and a wonderful cakewalk competition where once the music stops, if you're on the winning number, you get to pick out a cake. This year, there was a new balloon artist on hand to twist up festive shapes and face painting. For $2, the Boy Scout troop put on a super scary haunted house behind the big curtain on the stage. I also found out a walking taco is delicious. It is apparently where you pick a bag of chips of choice. They smash them up, open the bag, and drop in chili taco filling, cheese, sour cream, salsa, and lettuce, and voila, you have a very neat way to eat a taco in a bag. There will be a short video of the event put up on the DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, so be sure to check that out. As the weather forecast predicts a fairly seasonally warm evening, it should start to drop cooler around 8 p.m., so be sure to bundle up and be safe out there if you're taking the kids on a Halloween house walk. Industry sales indicate 72% of all candy sales are for chocolate for the holiday, with Hershey's and Mars dominating the spots, with Reese's topping the list, followed by M&M's, Snickers, Hershey's, and Kit Kat. All of the happenings and original news stories are posted up on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the embedded YouTube replays of the live show and the exclusive DCTV 5-day forecast. If you have an event, you can email us at dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station at 677-4119 and we'll be sure to get it on air.
Thanks for tuning in. We are live at noon Monday through Wednesday, then rebroadcast at 2:30 and 8 p.m. and again aired Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the same order at noon, 2:30, and 8 p.m. each day, respectively.
Share this with a friend and watch the broadcast replayed on YouTube and now featured on the Facebook page. Thank you for liking us there and for your comments. We'd love to hear your voice.
For Kendra Cook and everyone at DCTV with the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.